welcome to another episode of Fear Doesn't Go With My Outfit podcast. We are still in our quarantine series, and thank you so much for joining me. And just, going with the flow because we are all stuck in the house trying to figure out ish to do. So I'm bringing it to you from the couch, quarantine from the couch. So we are in our work from home gear, except for my guest. She all cute and stuff. And I was like, she is cute. But for my other folks who got on the Fearless sweatshirts, we got on the hoodies, the tank tops, t-shirts, all of that. Rep your work from home wardrobe, okay? Because we are comfortable in these streets and we are still being fearless, even though we are limited to what we can do right now. We just rocking it out either way. So really quick, guys, you know where to follow me, thecrystalmarie.com, the YouTube channel, The Crystal Marie Brand, Instagram, The Crystal Marie Brand, Facebook, The Crystal Marie Brand. Everything is the same. You know where to shop. Go to the website, click on Shop Fearlessly, and get your merch. I got some new things coming out for the spring, summer. Hopefully, we be able to go outside by that time. But let's get into it, guys. This is another episode. This is my quarantine series. This is number 3. I have one more left after this for the quarantine series, but I hope you guys are staying abreast with the episodes. Because my guests are the bomb. So I'm loving this one. And this one is going to be amazing. So I am going to let her introduce herself. But the topic for this one is fear doesn't go with my confidence. So we all have had struggles within our lives, whether you were a little kid, whether now, whether 10 years ago, that your confidence may have been tested depending on if you're applying for that job, school, meeting new friends, moving, whatever it was. So we gonna get into it. Hey girl, hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? So let my audience know who you are, beautiful girl.
Hey everybody, this is Tiara J, and I am coming to you from the DMV area.
Yes.
Yes, so I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm a mompreneur powerhouse. And I say that only because I've been doing this for so long. And for so long, I was like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just doing this. But now I know that I'm actually putting the work in and doing what it takes to become the better version of myself.
I love it. I
stuff like that all the time. Like, I'm a powerhouse because a few years ago, I didn't think that. So, yeah. Of course, we have it titled "Fear Doesn't Go With My Confidence." So I'm not Kanye confident, but I have a little, going on.
Listen, I love that's in a whole different boat when you Kanye confident. I love it. I love it.
Universe.
Listen, I love it. I love it. So the thing is, though, like you said, a couple years ago, I wouldn't have called myself a powerhouse. And it's funny because I wrote a book, How to Be a Powerhouse Planner. So I love that word because I use it as well, myself. But you just said that I've been doing this for a couple of years, which I think will resonate with my audience too, because it's like, look, we're taking advice from someone who has been at it, who has made, kind of the mistakes and just kind of grew up, found her purpose and now just dwelling in her, whatever her purpose is. So let's talk about confidence. Let's start way back when.
All right.
Let's start there. So, give me your story.
Okay, so my story starts in 1987. Born, raised in DC, in the Northwest Quadrant. Mom was a 9-to-5 hustler. Dad was a street hustler. So hustler is in my system. So I knew I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't, like, when they asked me what I wanted to be, you know how you get those little homework things when, like,
yes, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Grow up.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, a model, or I want to have my own business. And they were looking at me like, everybody else girl had, I'm going to
doctor, lawyer,
I'm going to be a surgeon. I'm going to do this. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to be a model or I'm going to own my own business. I didn't know the word entrepreneur, but I knew that I wanted to be my own boss because that, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm just going to say I have a type A, complex, and I am just the ruler of my own life and how I go about doing things. I respect everybody. However, it's just a certain way that I like to have things. Some people call it control freak. I call it knowing what I want and being assertive.
Yeah. I love
So,
that.
yeah.
So starting off, you said, in the late 80s or whatever, you were, you grew up, you grew up in
Yeah.
DC, and how was like growing up and everything, how did that affect your confidence? Was it, did you have friends? Did you have,
Yeah.
How was that?
Growing up in that era, I grew up in the crack era. They call 80s babies crack babies.
Right.
I grew up in a crack era. I grew up knowing what a crackhead was.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up knowing the street boys on the corner had money.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up thinking that I was probably going to have a couple of those boyfriends in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up also knowing what I wanted to do in life, and that was just being who I was. Of course, I had a lot of friends, but back in that time, it was a thing about, and I think it's still that to this day. I don't want to say that because I want to be on a more positive note. Mm-hmm. But I grew up in the era of light skin versus brown skin and dark skin.
Colorism. Mm-hmm.
Colorism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things for me where it was like, you're cute, but
you dark skin.
You cute for a brown skin girl,
mm-hmm.
or you cute for a dark skin girl.
You cute for a dark skin girl, for a brown skin girl.
Like,
yes.
Oh, baby, I'm cute anyway. Like, they used to tell my mother, her mouth. I was like,
but see, a lot of us didn't know to say that. Like, you know what I mean? It was always like, I'm the exception to the right. What is that? Or it's like, oh, well, let me take that little compliment for what I could do. But it was pretty much an insult. Like, it's like.
It definitely was. That was the first time it happened to me. I was like, oh, well, what does that mean?
Do you remember who said it?
And I do. It was a guy that I went to school with. I went to Catholic school, and we were on the playground, and we were just playing, and he was just going around saying, oh, this one's cute, this one's cute, this one's cute. And I knew he was going to say I was cute because, I mean, of course, I was cute. But can you still see me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So when he got to me, it was just like, you're cute, but you're cute for a brown skin girl. And I was like, what does that mean? I mean, I didn't think he was cute at all, but for him to tell me, you're cute for a brown skin girl, I went home and I told my mom, and my aunt was over there. And when she heard that, she was like, well, you go and tell them you're cute anyway. And from that moment on, we have them aunts. Everybody
exactly. Yeah.
You had them like, no, the next time you say this, I was like, okay.
And I'm the aunt now. I'm that aunt now. Like, wait, what?
Me too. So, it's just like a thing of just building that confidence from the time you were younger, from, up until you're older. And I hate to say it, but I think the average female learned her worth and her self-esteem by going through certain things.
The journey.
It was a journey.
Because I was about to ask you, how was your parents with your confidence? Did they play a part in you struggling with your confidence, or they bigged you up, but you still needed that validation elsewhere? Does that make sense?
Yes. So for me, I always thought that light skin with pretty hair, or any complexion with pretty hair, was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it, because I grew up in that era.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my mom and my aunts, were like, Black is beautiful. And they introduced me to that poem. And I have loved that poem like ever. Like I recite it to my daughter now.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's in middle school and she hears about these things. So it's just like a thing of, you know, you are beautiful no matter what. Whatever you look like, this is how God intended for you to look.
And we
So
talking about in
I
the
play
80s, and now we're in the 2020s, and your daughter
yeah.
is still hearing the same thing we heard in the 80s. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So it's just like,
Yeah. It's
ugh,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy. But you know, I built her confidence up when she was younger. You know,
exactly,
mine,
exactly.
you know, my mom was one of those. Her and my dad, they were very protective over me.
Mm-hmm,
I would say overprotective. And my dad came in my life a little later, you know, but
mm-hmm,
once he came in, he still treated me as his little girl.
mm-hmm.
So certain things, it was just like, ugh, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
what I know now, I'm going to teach my daughter now. You know, so she doesn't have to go through that phase of having to experience some things in order to learn and understand it.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
I love that. I love that. So, what do you think were like the biggest things where you feel like your confidence was tested a little bit? You know,
ooh,
where you knew you
uh,
had to, you know,
uh,
shake it off, or where you were
yeah,
like, that you know, you might have didn't think you really had a confidence problem, but at the end of the
yeah,
day, you
yeah,
did. Like,
yeah.
what certain, you know, experiences do you remember from that?
I can, well, that one when I was younger, growing up dating,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, you heard it all the time. It was this, I don't know if you remember, but it was at one point in time, brown skinned girls and dark skinned girls only dated light skinned boys, and you know, vice versa.
Yeah.
So in my mind, girl, I was gonna have me a light skinned boy with some dreads, girl. Like I was like, yes, and that was my thing for a while, and I got it, but
Yeah.
it wasn't what I needed. I got what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted,
Mm-hmm.
but in
You
the
was just
end,
looking at the physical aspect. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we go together, you know, like, you know, hand in hand, like the complexion is right, the, you know, the vibes is there, the energy is there. And that's all I was looking for. And all that stuff was surface level stuff.
The
Surface
rest
level.
of it was toxic. You like, oh God, who is this?
Everything else I was like, what the heck? Like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? You cute, but then you had to open your mouth.
Yeah.
You
And we're
know,
not saying nothing against the light skinned guys. All light skinned guys
at
are the
all.
same,
All
obviously.
let me say,
But you were looking
yeah,
at just the physical aspect of what you wanted because, you know, that
right.
stuck with you from childhood. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, you was looking at the surface, but not the actual person.
I wasn't looking at the actual person, and I learned very young that, you know, that's not what we do. That,
Right.
you know, you look for being with a person, you have to go beyond what they look like and what they can give you. It's not all
Right.
about, girl, that's another whole talk we
I
can
know. I
get
love
into,
it. I
you
love
know,
it. No,
but
listen,
that's
let's get
one of the,
into it. Let's get into it. Yes. So I love it.
yeah,
So,
you know.
um, so did you feel like anything, again, going back to kind of that colorism, did you feel like even not just in dating, but like in the social world and you know, corporate or your job, did you
Mhm.
see that as being kind of a barrier where it was kind of like, oh, that's just, you know, Black women anyway, you know, we always have
Yeah.
to go above and beyond and we're still at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yes,
But
yeah.
you know, did you feel like even because you were a little bit on the darker side that people were still, you know, you still had to compete and do this and do that extra than just being black anyway?
Not really. I
Hmm.
didn't really. It was just comments made because my self-esteem was up here,
Right.
and they were looking at it like, oh, she's just a, you know, a bitch. She thinks she's
Hmm.
better, and they didn't know my actual story, which
Yeah.
was I had to be this strong person, and I had to do things. I have to do things this particular way because I've been hurt for so long since I was little.
Hmm.
So again, you know, we get our self-esteem and our confidence boost from hurt and pain and suffering and endurance of certain things.
Yeah.
So people looked at me like, oh, I thought I was this, I thought I was that. And in my mind, I'm like, well, what, why? why am I being looked at, that way? Why are you just looking at the outer appearance? You don't know me. So I've always dealt with that all my life.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
my life.
So what do you remember as kind of being that point or that breaking point where you were just like, like which one sticks out where you really had to get your confidence level together? Because if you didn't, that could have broke you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When my dad told me that my looks wouldn't get me anywhere. My dad, he had said one day, you walk up and down these streets like you cute and stuff. You better get it together, little girl, because your looks are not going to get you everywhere. And in my mind, I was like, I don't think that I'm going around thinking I'm cute. But again, in my mind, I already knew from when I was younger. My aunt told me to tell everybody, oh, you better let them know, oh, I'm cute regardless of what complexion I am. So I think I took that and ran with it. And me and my dad, we were trying to get our connection together as father and daughter. Right. And at that point, we had begun to build a relationship together. So he felt comfortable enough to say, hey, let me tell you from a man's point of view. And once he said that, I respected it. Of course, it stung a little bit because I was like, I didn't think dad said that to daughters, but he was in his own way, in his, version of parenting, he was trying to show me that you're not going to get through life with your looks and, being this chocolate drop. They used to call me that all the time.
Right.
They used to call me the brown skin version of Betty Boop.
Right. So, and I guess we could take that different ways. So we could go, like, was he trying to, he figured he was trying to help you by saying, hey, you have to have, this, that, and the third, instead of just basing it off looks. Or we could have been like, well, is he trying to, we could have took it another way. So which way do you think you focused on?
So again, when he first said it, I was hurt. I was like, well, what do you mean? I'm not out here trying to, be cute or anything. But once we got in the house and talked about it, again, my dad's a hustler. He was a street hustler, so he told me you had to bring more to the table than what you can do for a man. And he didn't want me going down that road thinking that, oh, my looks can get me past a few years with a man and my body can get me past. He wanted me to know that I had to bring my street smarts and my common sense to the table and have an education. And my mom, being a 9-to-5 hustler, and she college educated, she told me, you have to put your brains with the beauty too. We all know the beauty portion, Tiara, but you also have to master life and being, educated, an educated Black woman. You already have 2 strikes against you. That's what she will always tell me. You have 2 strikes against you. You are a Black woman in America, and then you're a woman.
Yeah.
You're a woman.
Yeah.
So we have to stand out, and we have to work twice as hard as a Black man in order to get, what is it, 60 cents on a dollar?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's crazy. So I had it from both spectrums, from both sides of the spectrum. My mom being the book smart one, and my dad being the street smart one. So together.
So having that balance, right? Because you have to, it's very rare when people have both book sense and common sense, or street smart. Because you can't have more than the other. You know what I mean? It's nice when you have that little balance as everything.
Nice when you have that little balance right there.
Yeah. And
for me, it was like, let me tell you, right now, I'm 32. I'll be 33 this year, and it's so great that I'm the third series on here.
Yes.
I had a dream about 333, and I've heard that, I read on it that it's mind, body, and spirit. So
I love that.
I'm loving the 3s. So being on this earth for 32 years, I have ran into people that have book smarts, girl, that couldn't tell you how to get across the street and up the street and how to divide this and know who's your friend and who's not your friend. And I've had people that are in the streets that couldn't tell you how to start a business or write a business plan. So I think I can say this for the majority of the 80s babies.
Mm-hmm.
I think we grew up in one of the most prominent eras in time, growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, because we saw so much. Like, I'm 32 and I have been through a few little viruses out here. We've been through Y2K. We've been through the crack era. We've been through.
We a whole history. We a whole history story
ourselves. They need to start teaching about this in the schools at this point.
Yeah, and that's what I told. I was sending all my friends who have kids like this a message, or my line sister sent me something, then I sent it on. But it was like, during this time, like this is going to be like in the history books, like this coronavirus that's going on. So it was like, have your kids like keep a journal and like write things down, write what they're going through, how they're feeling, this stuff with school. Because I was like, you may never know. They might, grow up and want to do a documentary on it. They might, get interviewed for it.
Yes.
Just all of this stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. But let's talk about like where you are now, what you're working on. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I know for sure being an entrepreneur was in my bloodline, like since before, like it was written for me.
Yeah.
Like since before I was born, it was written for me.
So what's your business?
So in 2000, I want to say 2013, it was Valentine's Day, 2013. And I think this was at a time where a lot of people that I knew weren't in a lot of relationships. And this is when everybody was on Facebook. And so I've always loved women and camaraderie and sisterhood and unity. And I didn't know how to start a business or service for women that wanted to just come together and, just bond.
Yeah.
And it was Valentine's Day. I started a page and it was entitled Women with Vision.
Okay.
No, it was A Rose is Still a Rose. And I named it A Rose is Still a Rose because during that Valentine's Day season, a lot of my friends and associates and people that I just knew weren't in relationships. They were dogging men on Valentine's Day. They were just saying a whole lot of stuff. And I'm like, this is unusual because, it's probably about one or two women that will just say something. You're like, oh, whatever, you've been single all this time.
But you like everybody, right?
I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm scrolling down the timeline like,
everybody miserable, right?
Their mama.
Right.
So I was like, oh no, let's get this, let's get this out of, other people's minds that think that's all they think about anyway, and that's how they feel anyway. They just bitter baddies. So I was like, no, let's just stop. So I started the group, and in that group, I will post every single day. Every day I posted just something spiritual, encouraging, uplifting. I will pray on Sundays. I would have a motivational Monday. Just a picture on Tuesdays. It was Truth Tuesdays. I did WCW on Wednesdays. And on Thursdays it was tea. What did I call it? Tea time with Tiara Thursdays.
Okay.
And I did Ask Tiara Fridays, and I just kept going. I know they was like, oh my gosh, she keep posting, but what I was posting was love.
Yeah, it was content. They were,
and I was trying to get it in the back of their mind, like, you are beautiful, you are enough, you're worth it, you're valuable. No matter what somebody's dusty son says, you are not.
Right.
Who are they to judge you? They don't have their ish together either.
Right.
So, and at this time, you guys, we might not be ready, but while you're not, you might not be ready, but let's get ready. And in getting ready, let's work on ourselves. Yeah. What's the problem with us? So that's what I was creating, in that I created the tone of just love and, lifting ourselves up. So that's what
from that, it came what?
So in college, I'm also a fashion, a wardrobe stylist.
Right.
I did it freelance. So
right. That's what we have in common. Right.
Yes. So in college, I used to clean people's dorms out and tell them, okay, this is
yeah.
what you should wear. If you haven't worn this between 3 and 6 months, let's throw it on out.
Right.
And I came in objective and, you know, non-biased. So it was like they listened to me. And I just took everything that I liked and turned it into a business and a service. And I have an eye for a lot of things. So I turned that into brand strategizing. So
love it.
fast forward to 2020, I'm sorry, and I help people with their business. I have my wardrobe styling with Tiara J, my women with vision. I have events now. I am an event planner now. You know, I guess
that's another thing we have in common. Right, right. That's why we vibe. We got so many things in common.
You know, we got this.
Yeah.
I'm a creative director. I had in the last, I think 6 months, I've had four events. I had one called Her Seat at the Table last summer. And that was just a series for women in business that wanted to network. And that was a great first event. My next event was Am I Ready? And Am I Ready was amazing. Am I Ready was an event for women of all ages to come in and say, you know, what is it that I'm ready for? Am I ready for college? Am I ready to be married? Am I ready to have a baby?
I love it.
As older women, am I ready to have that next phase in life? I did that. I was asked to be a part of an anthology for women. And the title of the book is Dear Young Women. And that the book is amazing.
Where can they find the book at?
They can email me at partnerwithtiaraj@gmail.com. I do have it in ebook format. Since we're all quarantined, I don't want to say go and order. Nothing coming to our house.
Say the email address again. Where can they email you?
Okay, they can email me at partnerwithtiaraj@gmail.com.
Okay.
And they can follow me on my social media.
What's your social media?
So Facebook is Tiara, Tiara, last name Johnson. Instagram, IM_TIARAJ. So I'm Tiara J. And Twitter at the Tiara J brand.
I love it. I love it.
Any of those handles, they can find me and just get the book.
So if people want to work with you, because do you just specialize with small businesses for the brand strategy, or it doesn't matter what level the business
it does. Let me say, it doesn't matter what level you're on, because I feel like we're never too big in the game where we can't learn from anybody. So if you're above me, if you're beside me, wherever you are, I'm here and I'm open for business. So
especially if you're thinking about rebranding the business and you need kind of somebody to assist you with the whole brand strategy, because I know I started my business in 2008 with Crystal Marie Events, but then in 2016 I rebranded, changed the name and everything. So yeah, you know, wherever you are, she would be the one to help you guys get your wardrobe in order. Both of us are here for that. Okay.
Yes.
She is in the area, so she's at my second home. My first home is in Detroit and my second home is in DMV. So so my listeners know that. So I love it. So guys, I want you to, again, confidence is everything. It's everything. And it starts from, you know, as she said, when she was younger back in 87, it starts from when we're younger. Sometimes we aren't taught to believe in ourselves. Sometimes we are, but we somehow lose focus and track of that. So again, I always push, speak with somebody. If that is, you know, something that you're struggling with as far as therapy, a support group, how she kind of designed this support group for women via Facebook. You know, it doesn't have to be this whole thing. It could be something simple that turns into something more complex and bigger. So I am so excited. This was so good.
Thank you.
I always love talking about confidence, because that's fear. You know, sometimes we're scared to believe in ourselves because, oops, what if we might fail? What if somebody laughs? What if I don't have enough to do that? I haven't been doing business long enough to work with Tiara. Like anything. And we just have to,
like that.
we just have to go, okay, you know what? Let me just try it. Let me take this risk on myself. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much. This was so good.
Thank you.
Follow her, guys. She has wardrobe styling, branding, brand strategist, and she also, if you are in the DMV area, wherever, she can help you with your events as well.
Yes.
Guys, you guys know where I am. TheCrystalMarie.com. Follow me, The Crystal Marie brand, on all social media platforms. And I will see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.